Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome to Sunday night and our premiere episode of Let's Talk About Sex with Sandy. So I just wanted to first of all say hi and welcome and give you a little bit of background on me, why I'm doing this and kind of what brought me here. I am a holistic nutritionist and founder of Stepping Stones Wellness, for those who don't really know me. Um, I've been I've been through a whole gamut of having a high sex drive, then having no sex drive, and then having a high sex drive again, which is, hello Shireen, which is absolutely wonderful. Um, I met someone several years ago who helped me turn my life around and decided at that point that it was time for me to give back to other people. And so I went back to school to become a nutritionist. And it started off when I graduated. I knew I wanted to do something with balancing hormones, but somehow it ended up going off on a weight loss journey, and that's not where I wanted to be. So I pulled in the reins a little and kind of went back to, okay, well, I actually want to, hello, darling Tracy. I want to, I want to talk about sex, but I was still afraid to come right out and talk about it. So I kind of couched it with balancing hormones to get your energy, joy, and sexy back, which is definitely a big part of it. And finally, not too long ago, I kind of went, you know what? Enough of this playing small. It's time to address what I really want to address, and let's talk about sex. So, um, sorry, this is my first time doing this, so I've done other live, but this is my first one talking about sex, and it's kind of a little interesting. So, what is it that we have problems with? And who is it that I'm trying to help? I want to help people, whether it's men or women. It really doesn't matter because, we talk so much about women having issues with low libido, but it happens to guys too. You really can't get away from it. Hormones are hormones, and whether you're male or female, we all have the same hormones in our body, just at differing levels. And if your thyroid is out of whack, that's your metabolism and your temperature control. And if your metabolism is slow, then yeah, chances are your libido is going to be a little slow too. If your testosterone is too low, whether you're a male or female, it can affect your sex drive. Estrogen. Sometimes if the problem is that it's too low, because estrogen is what keeps us juicy and it's what drives women's libido. But if your estrogen level's too high, it can throw you off, and it can throw men off as well, because they can end up with estrogen dominance as well, which is when your estrogen is too high and your progesterone is too low. So it's a very tight little dance that we're doing, and one of the biggest issues is your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormones. And when the stress hormones are out of whack, it can leave you feeling wired and tired at the same time, or at different times. It can leave you, when your cortisol's too high, you can end up with really wired and stressed and just anxious. How do you find, sorry, I'm just going to pop in and answer a question here. How do you find your estrogen levels? You need to get some blood work done. So go to your doctor, preferably, or a naturopath will certainly help you. But you can go to your medical doctor and get them to check your estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and DHEA. Now, what is DHEA? A lot of people don't know about that. And that is actually a precursor to both testosterone and estrogen. So if your DHEA level is low, then chances are your sex drive is in the tank, because it's not producing enough of either estrogen or progesterone, both of which are responsible for sex drives. When I was tested at 46, I had the DHEA level of a 63-year-old, so you can imagine how great that was. But since I've had it readjusted and it's back in line, I feel much, much better. So my encouragement to everyone is, if you are not sure about what's going on, go to your doctor, and have them test. Have them test those levels. Again, it's the DHEA. They might balk at that one, but tell them to do it. They're there to serve you, not the other way around. Testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. Also get your thyroid, so get your TSH, your T3 and T4 levels checked. Unfortunately, they cannot test for cortisol, because blood levels of cortisol is not accurate. You need to have either saliva. It's basically a saliva test, and for that you need to go to a naturopath. I'm a big supporter of naturopaths, obviously. I'm in the wellness field, and but not everybody can afford to go, and not everybody can afford the testing. So medical doctors are able to do a lot of the testing that you need. Tracy, you're welcome about DHEA, and if it's out of line, then there are different foods you can do. Supplements are kind of tricky. DHEA is one of those tricky ones that, because it's a precursor, it's a little more challenging. I actually have on my website at steppingstoneswellnessinc.com, under my blog, there are several categories, one of which is hormone balancing. And what I did with those posts was I addressed each of the major hormones. There's actually over 100 hormones in our bodies, so I didn't do all of them, but all of the big ones I addressed. What is it and what does it do? What happens when it goes wrong? Foods that you can help to supplement it, and supplements that you can take when food enough is not enough, and also lifestyle choices that you can make. So if you want to check those out, or just shoot me an email, and send me a PM, and I'll gladly send you the direct link to anything in particular that you're interested in. I was actually asked to address a question of lubrication. So again, I've done a post on that under the sexual health and wellness tab. My blog is divided into 4 sections. There's hormone balancing, sex, oh my goodness, supplementation, and kind of this and that, which are just odds and sods of things that don't fall into any of the other categories. So you can always check them out there. But with lubes, basically some of it is preference. A lot of it is you got to be careful of some of the ingredients. You don't want to use silicone. Water-based is actually better, and I gotta admit, my favorite is called Fuck Water, and I like it. It's really effective, and they have a couple of different types, and you can get it at pretty much any sex store. So, and you know what? That's a great place to go to investigate. If you're shy, don't worry about it, because there's no judgments whatsoever. There's my hubby. Well, you know me, Tracy, I am to the point about things. I think it's great that I think it's important that people accept the fact that, look, we're all adults, and sex is part of our life. I mean, not everybody is sexually active, even with a partner. hey, if you don't have a partner, you can still be sexually active. Just, you know, that's what toys are for. It's such a great part of life, and sex has a lot of health benefits, which I have also addressed in one of my posts. Um, and it helps with your immunity. It helps actually, if you're having trouble with dryness, ladies. If you're having trouble with with vaginal dryness, and you can, the more you have sex, the better it is, the easier it's going to be. So, and yeah, use a lube. Like, that's what they're there for. So what else can you do to help balance your hormones? Well, there's some things that you need to avoid. And this is just in general for good health. It's gluten and dairy because they're inflammatory. There is refined sugar because it's inflammatory and very acidic. You got it, Barb. Use it or lose it, baby. There's also caffeine is really not that good for you. Rather than coffee, green tea is a better alternative. And alcohol in moderation. Hey, I'm a nutritionist. I enjoy a drink now and again. I had a drink on the deck at the end of a very hard day of working in the gardens, and I had a glass of wine with my hubby for dinner. That's a lot of alcohol for me in one day, but it's like, you know what? It's summer. It's gorgeous out today, and once in a while, it's not a big deal unless you have an issue with alcohol. Then obviously, no. And you also want to stay away from too many acidic foods. You want to alkalize your system as much as possible, and lemon water is a great way to do that. You can add orange or strawberries or limes or cucumbers. They're all very cleansing and very alkalizing as well. So these are just some of the things. Restrict your grains, and be very cognizant of what it is that you're doing, what you're putting into your body. And no, I don't just mean somebody else. I mean food. But I hope that I want to make this series fun for you and informative. And yeah, I'm a little odd, but anybody who knows me knows that. And I look forward to helping you and to answering any questions. As always, feel free to, sorry, Barb, ice cream, inside joke. I really want to make a difference. I want everybody to enjoy sex again. Too many people our lives are just so busy and we're pulled in so many different directions. And I just want to make sure that everybody enjoys life to their fullest, and anything that I can do to help, and I don't mean physically, I do mean advice-wise, but anything that I can do to help, I am so happy to be here. And even if you just need to talk, if you have questions, if you're like, I'm really into this, but I don't know if that's normal or not. Look, I did a post on masturbation. I did one on anal sex. There's no topic that's off limits for me. If you don't want to ask online, you can also always PM me or email me, and I will certainly address the issues during the program. And of course, my nose is kind of itchy and I'm threatening to sneeze, so you'll forgive me, I hope. So I hope you have enjoyed my first little talk. This was just an introduction as to who I am and what I'm wanting to do, and I hope that you'll come back and visit and enjoy our little time together, and we'll be seeing you later. Take care. Bye.